He showed flashes of power in those middle rounds. There's a right
Big
hand.
right hand.
As if on cue, Carrington drops Castro, and he may not make it up.
That was a big shot right on the tip of the chin. Doesn't take power, takes accuracy, and Carrington has it.
And it's over. Shu Shu in his big stage at Madison Square Garden gets a knockout win in front of his hometown crowd.
To win the world title in Madison Square Garden, in the big room, in New York City, you know, it was just amazing. Like, it's always special for when I fight, you know, at home with my people, because it's that environment alone is overwhelming and it's very exciting. It adds another layer of pressure, but for me to be able to fight for the world title and end it the way I did in that fashion, it was like, you couldn't have written it up any better than that. That's like a perfect way. Like, even with the whole drama in the fourth round that I had to overcome, like that right there, it's always sweet to see, you know, someone have a dominant victory, but it's something special, and you see someone go through adversity and then overcome it the way I did. It was a perfect night.
Bruce Shu Shu Carrington.
It took about, I would say, 1.5 weeks after the fight for it to like really hit me. You know, the first few days I was just kind of like in a twilight zone. I'm sitting there with my fiance as we're watching fights together. I'm just like, man, I really did that. And then she's like, babe, you really did that. And I'm like, I really did that. It's something I thought about since I was a kid, you know? And when I started boxing, I was like 7 years old. But for me to really like have it now, I know my younger self will be proud of me. It's a dream come true.
Block the right hand. Slip the right hand.
I'm thinking about all of the hard work that I've, you know, done in the last camp, even the camp before that, but really last camp, you know, pushing myself, thinking about how many times I thought about the fight over and over and over, to where it was like I had unshakable confidence to where I knew that I was gonna win that fight, man. And I actually trained to stop him. I didn't train to just win the fight. I trained to put on an emphatic performance and go for the knockout. You know, not recklessly, obviously, but something to where it was like, we're gonna get him in the later rounds, break him down, and do exactly what we ended up doing.
What a combination, what a knockout.
The champ life has been good, you know what I mean? I've been really enjoying, you know, all the love and all of like the little tours of like me just doing like interviews and show-ups and stuff like that. It's been really cool. I went to the Knicks game, the Nets game. I've been on Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco's nightcap show. I've just been putting my face out there, and that's one of the main things what I've always wanted to do ever since I started boxing. Since I was a kid, I was just always like doing interviews. I remember on boxingscene.com, I was about like 8, 9 years old, and I'm just talking on camera fearlessly with a Mike Tyson tattoo on my face, and it went viral on YouTube like some years ago. But you know, that's something that I've always practiced, and I've always understood that boxing is not just about what you do inside the ring. It's what you do outside the ring that continues to help you build your fan base. It's kind of the exact thing I've been wanting to happen, you know, and I'm gonna have it continue to happen as long as I stay in this sport, because I see myself being one of the best when it's all said and done. I've been, you know, definitely enjoying the fruits of my labor, but I don't stay outside the gym like but so long, you know. I just run the 10K marathon on the strip, you know, just to have an excuse to stay active. Workout in boxing, it's a lifestyle, you know. It's not something that I just do when I have a fight coming up. It's something that I really live by, and I see myself continuing to like be like this even when it's all said and done. Even when I retire, like, I'm gonna continue to work out and stuff. So I love being in the gym. I'm a gym rat. I want to fight at least 2 more times before the year ends. At the same time, have the right amount of rest and recovery time. So I think May, June, around that time is the perfect time for me to get back in. I want everybody that has a title in my weight division or in Iowa anyway. If there's any title defense that I have to do, I have to do them, but I'm looking through these guys. I'm honestly, like, I'm not looking past anybody that I have to fight. I'm looking through everyone, because everyone's in a way of me achieving my milestone. My main focus is just, you know, the bigger fights, and the big fights are for me to unify, become undisputed, and or fight in the way.
Party, man. Welcome to the Shu Shu party, man.
I was hosting at Hockerson nightclub, and you know, as I'm in my section, I just see, you know, a familiar face come by, and I see it's Figueroa. So I'm just like, oh, okay, let me invite him to the Shu Shu party. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like a Shu Shu party, baby. You know what I mean? So it'll definitely something that I want him to know. Like, I definitely want to have a conversation to make this fight happen. Like, I'm fully intrigued to fight a guy like him, Rafael Espinoza. Again, like I said, all the champions. And I don't think that these guys are pushing the envelope the way I'm pushing it. Things like that can, add some, media pressure for the fight to happen.
125.
I'm super confident that I'll be at 126 for as long as I could, be, to be honest. Like, I make weight very well. We've, me and my team, we have a system when it comes to making weight. And I've never really had a problem making weight. So yeah, I'm in there for the long haul. I have a job to do, and that's for me to become undisputed, and I will not leave 126 until that happens.